You're all I ever wanted.
Woo!
Yeah. This is with love and respect to everyone in the redhead community.
My sister put together flashcards of Vanderpump Rules, like scenarios and characters and stuff, and then we had to sit.
We're all a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
really
sure it's
fucking-
all a little weird.
Dude.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Everybody Loves Tom. Today, we have a very special guest, one of the biggest YouTubers in America. Ladies and gentlemen, Peet Montzingo. How you doing, man?
Good. That was beautiful.
Thanks, dude. I had to give you a Superman welcome. That was a Superman theme, so.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's well earned. Obviously, you're crushing the game. One of the biggest TikTokers, YouTubers, authors.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can get into that
yes.
later. Advocate for little people. Musician.
Yeah.
Former boy band member.
Former boy band member.
I don't want to start by mourning because we can get into that later. But I dig Five West, and we can get into that later. But
You're one of the biggest YouTubers and TikTokers, but you're also the biggest person in your family as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Well, tallest. I don't know
Tallest.
about- My
Tallest.
brother's a little bit big.
Okay,
but
beefier. Okay.
I can make fun of him. It's fine.
Yeah. So when did you start making videos?
I started making videos in like 2008. Just nobody cared, you know. And then when the pandemic happened, I was in a boy band, Five West.
Yep.
And the label was like, everyone go home because what are we doing? We can't tour anymore. And like things started getting really strange. And the label was in Nashville. And so I'd like moved there. So we all went home. And then I was like, well, my life is over, you know, catastrophized and I can't reach my dreams anymore. So at that point I made a video and that video went viral. And then ever since it's been like that.
Which one? What was the video that like really, like?
It was, I have a ball pit in my house. I'm like a 12-year-old girl at
Oh,
heart.
wow.
So
ball pits. There's no age range for ball pits.
No,
you
no,
know?
definitely not.
They are timeless. And
Thank you.
If you guys are
nostalgic
ever in
and-
St. Louis, there's like a big ball pit with oversized balls, and it's like kind of for adults. It's this place called the City Museum. It's so cool. Some guy built this crazy thing out of like repurposed. There's like a school bus off the building. There's like a 10-story or 12-story like spiral slide. It is so awesome.
have you been?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been like twice. It's so cool.
Oh my God.
I've
Well,
never seen anything like it.
We have to go.
Let's do it.
We are
do
major
it.
advocates. Ball pits for adults. No age restrictions. Anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it was about a ball pit, my ball pit. But now I'm like, that's all I'm going to be able to think about when I get into it. That's so cool.
But that was the first one that popped off.
Yeah.
So one of your first videos went viral.
On TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. So that probably was like, oh my God, that opened up your eyes, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well
Yeah.
maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
And from there, you started becoming disciplined and
Oh, yeah.
consistent, and yeah, man.
Because I always was before that. It's just like, for what though? Because I had 12 people watching, you know, if that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like this time it was like, I mean, I grew up my beard. I was like, I'd given up, you know, it was
Yeah.
like my life is
Wow.
over. But that's always when they say it happens. So I had to reshift my focus again.
Yeah. Dude, we were talking over there about you have one of like the most supportive, uplifting, authentic, organic followings of anyone I've ever met. Just looking at like the comments on all your videos.
Yeah, just like our followings.
Oh God.
So uplifting, so supportive, so nice, so glass half full.
Pete, we'll show you the DMs later.
Oh God.
Scary, man.
I've gotten DMs that are literally just puke emojis, like for like pages.
Really?
Just like puke emojis for
In
pages.
their defense.
do you open the DMs? I mean, maybe at the end of the last season, maybe
What-
not, but
I did not.
Oh, you know.
I did not towards the end of last season for a while, but it was just crazy. Like when I finally did, because when we started touring with the band, I would look for like go through the requests and stuff like that, and so I would see stuff. But I mean, I realized that like all these people like like Sharon Osbourne and all these people had like commented or tagged me in things like that I never saw because I didn't go into my DMs. But yeah,
intense.
It was pretty crazy. No, let me ask you. So the name Five West, there's 4 of you.
It's a quartet,
Right.
baby.
Yeah, but like Five West. What was the correlation between the 5 and the
Well,
and the band?
with every boy band, you have to have, like a degree and then a number. So, or a number, then a degree, like one direction. And,
98 degrees.
So
Okay.
the band came together in like 2017 originally.
Okay.
And we had 5 members, but we went through a lot of like changes and things like that. And then there were 4 that stuck around. But that, like the last thing I ever did with them was, I think like early 2021.
Okay.
And then we all kind of went our separate ways. I know they've been like posting like new songs or something. I try and distance myself, honestly.
Okay, taking a breather. Or permanent, or just hiatus, or permanent?
Or just
Permanent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for what it was worth, man, you had some bangers. I'm telling
Yeah, you got a
one,
great
one
voice.
shot was
Thank you.
Yeah, your voice is killer, and also, I gotta say, I'm a little jealous because I think I could speak for both of us, Tom. I've always wanted to be in a boy band ever since the TRL
wow.
days.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
You gotta do your best. Like, yeah,
I'm a little rusty.
come on.
Wait, you guys gotta coach me.
You got a little wink.
You're all I ever wanted. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. Okay, I'll have another Montzingo mule. Anyways, props, respect. I know you guys were like, you guys blew up. You went on tour in 2019, right?
Yeah, we went to like a few different countries and opened. They were an old group called Boyzone in the 90s, kind of like Westlife. It was like in
Okay.
another country, like they were big, just not in America. So we opened for them. That was kind of like our big start,
Yeah.
But then COVID. But
Whoa.
the cool thing is now, contract is finally like just about up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be starting to release my own music this year.
Nice.
So
I know you performed obviously at the Gold Bar Whiskey party,
Yeah.
which was really cool. Do you perform often nowadays, or?
It's been a long time. I need the auto tune until I feel good again. So studio until
Little
then.
Melodyne.
auto-tune,
Do
a little
you get stage fright? Do you like being by yourself, or do you like being like with a group of people?
Group.
Me
For
too,
sure.
man. I personally I've always wanted, like, my last band was a duo. My previous band was kind of a little similar. Like, I like having other people on stage, like
Yeah.
singing with other people. Like,
Yeah.
it's just it really takes the pressure off.
And
It's
bounce
like
off each other.
exactly. Like me and Schwartz, we're kind of a duo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you ever get like hard stage fright, and how do you deal with that?
I did when we were at the arenas. Like it was our first time, and I was backstage. Like, what the f? Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But as soon as I went on stage, I was like, oh, this is magical. So,
That's gotta
yes
be
and no.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so how long have you been doing music for?
I guess, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you grew up playing trombone. You were probably a marching band,
Yeah,
likewise. Yes,
unfortunately.
fellow marching band guy. Yeah. And I did that. I would get in talent shows as a kid and like dance and lip sync. Then
Yeah, you're a great dancer, by the
Oh,
way. From what I've seen, like in
Thanks,
San
man.
Francisco.
Thanks, dude.
Wait, where have you seen Tom dance?
I don't know, just that when we went to that club after
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was like,
We were getting after
I was
it.
telling Kyle like, what is this? How can he dance like that?
You're kind of like a b-boy
I had
back
my
in the
moments.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so I was a backup dancer for like a very short time, and we get in dance contests and stuff. But then like I went on and started learning guitar. I played lead guitar in a band, and then was in another band where I sang, and then this band where I sing mainly and sometimes play guitar, sometimes play trumpet. But yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
Pete, you sing, you play the trombone, any other instruments?
Piano, and then just a little guitar when it's on the beach or something.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And romantic. And badass.
Yes.
Guitars
try.
on the beach. We were talking earlier, one of my favorite pieces of content you do ever, across multiple platforms, is when you sort of play sound effects while your mom's going about her daily routine.
Yes.
You know, you kind of score her day-to-day activities.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Thank you. She hates it. She like banned it. She was like, take the trombone, get out of my house.
And Tom, we were thinking it might be fun to do like, you know, a little homage to that.
Yeah.
So if it's okay with you, can I maybe tell a joke?
Sure.
Tom?
Yeah.
You got me? Okay. Okay, cool.
Wait, hold on before you start.
This wasn't scripted.
Clearly not.
Okay, by the way, disclaimer, this is with love and respect to everyone in the redhead community. Pete,
Wait a minute.
this is... Okay? Okay. What do you call a ginger child who's really good at karate? A karate kid. Karate kid. I'm going to take a $5 and regroup.
Yes.
I got to walk that one off.
I don't even fucking get it.
Instead of a karate kid?
Okay.
Carrot.
Oh, carroty.
Did you get it?
I got it.
Wow.
I got it. Totally.
I'm sorry for that, Pete.
Oh, that's okay.
By the way, like, is being a redheaded is ginger a derogatory term? Depending on who it's coming from, I suppose.
I mean, it just depends on the person, but to me, I love that word.
I guess it depends on the inflection, the delivery,
Yeah.
the context.
Reminds me of like dwarfism. You know,
Yes.
it's like, it's just, if there's some meaning behind it, you can just tell. So it's like, come on, bro, just be nice. You know?
Yes.
What's the proper what do you think is the proper like terminology for that? You know?
For little people or for
Yeah, like little people, right?
Yeah, so it's either
That's kinda what I
it
thought.
depends on the person, but I mean they have dwarfism, so usually like dwarfism or dwarf is okay. Little person, or if you want to be cool, then you can say LP.
LP.
So
I
like
people
LP.
think you're in the, like, you know, the community. If you're like, oh, I know an LP, you know,
Yeah.
or something, just make cash. But midget is like super derogatory. And I actually just posted a video about that yesterday, and I was like, you were talking about like positive comments. Like, there's so many negative comments
Really?
about that, because people were just got so defensive about like, oh, since when is everyone getting so soft about, you know, all this stuff? And I'm like, well, when I grew up, midget was always like the M word. So I don't know. It's weird that people get so defensive about things that they really don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And
But-
I've noticed a movement online of people becoming making snap judgments and being overly reactive
Yeah.
to any sort of PC
Especially
culture.
on Instagram.
Yes,
Yeah.
Instagram has become extra toxic lately.
Fiery.
Yes, fiery.
Yeah.
But for people who don't, by the way, Peet Montzingo, internationally known musician, like we said, content creator. But for people who aren't familiar with you, can you give like a little mini biography?
Sure.
Just
yeah.
like, just so I don't think everyone knows. Well, at least maybe not everyone in our audience knows
Right.
that you grew up in a family who has dwarfism and
Right.
just
So basically, I grew up in a family of all dwarves. So I'm the only average type member of my family. Here's an illustration of it. And it just, I just got really passionate about it. And so it's kind of what I make a lot of my videos about. So I'm a content creator as well. And I make videos about that, ADHD, about being ginger. I'm a musician, an author. So basically I can't decide what I'm doing. But I'm just having fun while I'm in LA doing shit. So that's pretty much everything, I guess.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And can we take a moment? Let's just take a moment to savor how much. I don't know if you're even aware of it because you're so busy and dialed into your career, but you've accomplished so much.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
Maybe just give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
I'm seriously though. I mean,
I think when I was 21, I was a model and a club promoter.
Hey, that's pretty cool though.
I was a pretty good club promoter. But you know, I know you talk about which, by the way, a lot of your content you create. I was looking at the one that you, where you were like your mom when she was in the hospital and stuff like that. You looked just like your mom. It was crazy.
I don't see it.
Really?
But, yeah, no.
In that video, I mean, I was like,
Are you talking
whoa.
about the one where you put the makeup on and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, as an
Yeah.
homage to your mom, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was super cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to get her to finally agree to that because she's like, I don't want anyone knowing my makeup routine. She's like, this is my exclusive Vicky. She calls herself in the industry Vicky Petite.
Yeah.
That's like, so growing up, she was in a lot of like movies back in the day.
Yeah, your mom's an actress, right?
yeah.
All around
Oh, wow.
performer. Yeah.
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 So that's where I got the bug. But she like, I don't know, she's just very protective about her makeup. And I'm like, Mom, it's time. You got to put your makeup on me, and we got to show people I'm not adopted.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah, that's definitely a good one. I feel like.
I love how positive and uplifting your content is, but it's also hilarious and it has an edge. But I watch it and I feel like a better person afterwards.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, it is
honestly.
nice. It is a nice feeling.
And like we talked about earlier, your community is insanely positive, and I love it. Going through your comments and stuff on YouTube, at least. Instagram may be a different beast, but I feel like you have a great connection, a great rapport with your audience.
Yeah.
And anyways, I respect the hell out of that because I know you didn't build it overnight.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
So
just wanted to
Thank
give you
you.
a shout out for that.
Thank you.
Kudos, because YouTube for me, I'm a late adopter to YouTube. I'm just falling in love with it,
Really?
and I'm just fully appreciating its reach, its power.
Yeah.
I'm
and
always on YouTube.
yeah,
I look at the YouTube shorts all the time.
Yeah,
Or like tutorials, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure something out.
Oh yeah. YouTube tutorials are like everything. I mean,
YouTube University. For
Yeah.
someone like me who's like secretly always wanted to start a YouTube channel,
I was going to ask.
Could you maybe give like, you don't have to give like your insider secrets. Could you maybe give like a few pointers for someone who's about to start a YouTube channel, or any of our listeners or audience who's been thinking about it, but they're too self-critical, over analytical, or they're like, you know what, I can't do it. No one wants to watch me. And they're like, I'm going to be too cringe. Maybe,
Right.
maybe some, I don't know, some pointers to help break through that.
I would say right now, at least 2024, it's all about like captivating people like immediately, and figuring out what like your niche is. So like, I guess just with anything else, like even Vanderpump Rules, you know, you guys have a niche. But I would say like, that's the biggest thing. Like find out what no one else is talking about, make sure it's authentic and genuine, and then just don't be cringe.
yeah.
Or try not to, because it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if you are watching, I think everyone does go through a cringe phase. Do you ever
Yeah.
go back to some of your earlier videos and just be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
the sound of my voice.
Of course.
The content delivered.
Yes.
Can we pull up some of those?
No, actually, I gotta private those before it's too late. They're like, hey guys, like,
Yeah.
welcome to my channel. It's like, oh no,
So who started doing content first, you or your brother?
me.
Yeah?
I had to like get on the. Absolutely, I had to like get on the phone with them and be like, I'm blowing up. Like, it's time for you to get on right now. So like, otherwise you're gonna be late and like all this stuff. And so I got everybody on except my dad, who absolutely hates like social media.
Yeah.
And my sister, who just really couldn't get a good grip on it, and she has a big love for dogs, so she just wants to post a lot of like golden doodle memes. And I'm like, Jen, like everybody does dog memes. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get a little bit more creative, you know. Which, by the way, my sister's a huge fan of Vanderpump.
Whoa.
Nice.
So I was actually in San Francisco for the what do you call that?
Calchan, the Gold Bar Whiskey
Gold-
Calchan collaboration party.
Yes.
Which was also our season finale.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
You did great until you started throwing wine glasses and
I know. I couldn't
vases.
help it. You know. I was like,
Yeah.
where are the Toms?
Pete, that was you. That was you that instigated that fight.
No, it was not me. Oh my gosh. But on the way there, I was like, at the time I had only seen the finale that everyone was talking about. And so
God.
I was like, I don't know enough. They're like, I'm leave tomorrow. And my sister put together flashcards of Vanderpump Rules, like scenarios and characters and stuff. And
Oh
then
my
we had to
gosh.
sit.
Wow.
She made me sit. She's my older sister. She's like, you're coming over and you're going to learn. So we did it.
You got an education.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you made flashcards.
So she says hi, by the way. Just
Oh, we'll
saying.
tell her.
We'll get her some merch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some of the whiskey. And that's awesome.
Yeah, but anyways,
I'm sure that was. I know you're diagnosed with ADHD. I am as well, and I'm sure like doing flashcards like that, it's a struggle. Like I'm like that as well. Like
Yeah.
I have a hard time sitting still personally, or like staying on task.
Yep.
Being on time.
Yeah. I get. Do you ever like have issues like? I have an issue like leaving the house. Like I can be ready. Yes. You have that issue. It's not that you're done getting ready. I just have to. I have to like walk around and look and make sure and like, oh, I forgot this, and like it's crazy
because you know that you'll forget something. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I also feel like kind of anxious. Like this is my safe space, and it's like I'm happy to leave. Like I want to leave, and I want to see my friends or do the thing or whatever. But it's like I don't know.
Yeah. Schwartz always gives me shit about it. He's like, dude, what are you walking around doing right now? You gotta like go look at things. You gotta like touch these things over here on this table. Like, what are you doing, dude?
You know, sometimes I forget that you have ADHD, and it's a real thing. You know, and I'm not super sensitive about it because it's hard for me. And it's not easy for me to relate to. So actually, I'm gonna take a moment and say I'm sorry. Dude, sometimes for being a little harsh on you.
That's one of the biggest reasons. I'm chronically like 15 minutes to a half hour late to like everything.
Yeah.
Just
Me
because, dude, it's like, it's just because I can't like leave. It's like getting out the door.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I like take Adderall.
Yeah.
Because like it'll push me to, I mean, I try not to take it every day because it's, you know, addictive for me. But like, when the days I don't take it, it's I wish that I had, because then I know it'd be more on time, or I'd like think through things more, be able to like not forget anything on my way out, you know?
Yeah. When were you diagnosed?
Senior year of high school. I was like 17 or 18.
I wasn't until much later in life, and I really wish I would have like, I really wish I would have known earlier, because I struggled so much in school, like especially subjects where I wasn't fully interested in. Like I couldn't stay awake. I mean, I would literally have like I had like almost like narcolepsy. Like I would fall asleep reading aloud to the class. Which is nuts when you think about it.
Yes.
You imagine I'm literally talking to you right now, and I'm just like it was nuts.
Yeah. No, I can 100% relate to that.
I would sleep. I would be playing in band. I would have 30 measures rest on a song. 80
knocked out.
80, and I would literally turn my trumpet over and put my head in the bell and take like a nap.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And you would get shamed back in the day because people weren't properly educated. Yeah. Right? I mean, up until fairly recently, I mean, it was kind of taboo. Like, they'd throw some maybe Ritalin at you if you were lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just thought you were like lazy or like or like just an asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My teachers would be like, "Wow, what a fucking asshole. He's just going to fall asleep while I'm talking." Like,
but also like, sorry, I just can't fake it. I'm not interested. So
yeah, and also like I literally can't stay awake. Like, it was nuts.
I did that my last job. I was an editor for this company, and I get over things like 6 months after I start them. I don't know if you're the same way. And so 6 months later, I was like at the desk, and I would be like popping Adderall because I'm like, I have to stay awake, and that didn't even work. And I like he would walk back in after like his lunch, and I was supposed to be still like working, and I'd be like snoring on the desk, drooling on his keyboard. And I'm just I got like 10 hours of sleep last night. I swear, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I used to be so good at it. Like you sleep like this, and then as you get up, you wipe the drool from the desk. It was so
in one fell swoop.
Yep.
Pete, is that where you learned to edit videos, or did you have a natural knack for it? Self-taught?
I think self-taught.
A combination.
Yeah, because I was always like I tried to be a YouTuber in 2008. So,
dude, you're kind of like a new American dream in a sense, because so many people your age, maybe skewing a little younger, even our age, want to do anything but work a traditional 9 to 5. Become an influencer, a content creator, a musician, an artist of any capacity, and you're doing it. I gotta ask, did you ever have like a real job, a server, maybe? You did.
I mean, I did.
Any first job horror
You definitely
stories?
were. I'm gonna guess you were definitely in like food industry versus retail, right?
Food industry, yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at Subway for like 3 years.
No way.
Eat fresh, baby.
I would tell my friends, if you're the first one in that I see of my friends on my shift and my boss isn't there, I'm going to give you a free sandwich. So I would like have the whole school like line up, be like, well, they were there first, you know, better luck tomorrow. Like make it a game, you know?
Wow.
But what about you guys? Have you?
TGI Fridays, Applebee's.
My first job was TGI Fridays as a busboy.
No way.
I've worked every shitty job you could probably imagine.
I like that job, man. I had the 3-level phone booth in the one I worked at, like in outside of St. Louis and off Olive.
I'd like to retract that. By the way, TGI Fridays was not a shitty job. I made a lot of cash, and I felt like I was balling back in like 1997.
When you worked there, did they have 23 appetizers?
I think they did.
They had 23 appetizers alone. It was kind of like Cheesecake Factory where there's just this giant menu. And I remember for the test, in order to be a server, you had to, literally it was just pages and pages. You had to like write every single food item and every single ingredient in every food item. And I just remember there were 23
How'd you
just
do with
appetizers.
ADHD?
I did all right, actually. I'm pretty sure I cheated, but I'm pretty sure I cheated.
Pete, I like to imagine you in your Subway days as popping an Adderall before your shift and
Before
becoming.
Adderall. Nope.
Well, in my mind, you popped an Adderall and you became not a Subway sandwich maker, but a Subway artist, a sandwich artist.
Yes, that's what they called us.
Did you know? Even though you probably were most of the time slightly miserable, did you take pride in your sandwich making capabilities?
Yeah, I got, I mean, probably an ADHD thing too, but I got like so good, so fast, and so quick. I had to be the best out of everyone in there.
That's how I am.
What was your go-to sub for yourself?
Well, I'm a pescatarian now,
Oh,
so
nice.
I eat fish, but no
Yeah.
other meat. But back then, I was all about like meat lovers. So it was called The Feast. And I would double up on like it was like ham, roast beef, turkey. It was all the meats. And the sandwich would be like this big.
Wow.
It's kind of savage.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Meat lovers. I'm a big fan of the meatball. Parmesan. This is not interesting. We can move on from Subway. Sorry, I do love me some Subway. Though.
Shout out to my friend Ali. His parents owned Subway. We used to go there a lot. Like he would open it up after like we would out like at bars and stuff, and we'd go there and just like afterwards just like feast. It was so awesome.
Yeah, there's something sort of intoxicating about the aroma inside of a Subway.
Yeah.
I imagine after you work there, it sort of loses its like mystique.
Okay, here's the thing. It does, but then when you work there long enough, there's a second wind or a second wave or whatever, and now I can't go without a week in between eating a Subway sandwich. Like it's every week at least. Like, it's a necessity for me now.
Wow.
We can move on after this, but I want to know, as a pescatarian, what do you get now?
Well, veggie patty.
Yeah, nice. That's nothing. No, you don't have to. There's no veggie patties.
I mean, it's kind of boring, but I miss the feast. You know.
What kind of bread do you get?
Wait, so I'm curious too, like
Flatbread.
Dude, I could talk about Subway all day.
Same.
All right. The cookies are awesome.
I'm curious too, like so when you were editing, was that kind of like where you started wanting to be like thinking about like how you wanted to be in front of the camera, or were you already like in front of the camera as you're editing and stuff?
So that's when I was in 4 boy bands. So it was during my first like 2, and it's when I started doing it. And I was like, all I want to do is like not edit. Like it ended up being my worst enemy, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just kind of stuck with it because it was my bread and butter. So,
Yeah, you said you had a few viral hits in the beginning, and you saw like you probably thought, it opened up your eyes. Holy shit, there's something to this, and you liked it. You were positively reinforced. Did you all of a sudden, like from the get-go, did you become regimented and disciplined, or were you just like, did you wait around for inspiration?
no, I am not an inspiration guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm like, nope, it's all formulas. You have to like follow the thing if you want to be smart.
Yeah.
But also, it's a downfall too because then people are
becomes-
like,
It loses its romance.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, you can be somebody who waits for inspiration, but it's again like with something like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, it's like you have to capitalize on the algorithm, so you have to keep putting content out. You can't wait till you're inspired.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Guilty. I know, man.
You're an
Well, this is why
inspo
we're
guy?
a good team. No, I'm that way too. I feel like you should always do things you're inspired by. And it's really great that you're doing like multiple things because the answer always presents itself.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought I would never do music again after my last band broke up. I was completely heartbroken. I was like, fuck this. Like, I didn't touch my guitar for like years. And yeah, and then Jason, you know, we had a few drinks, and he's like, "You ever thought about doing music?" And I didn't have the time to like fully passionately invest in it, because it's such an emotional thing for me, as you know, like creating music, writing it, and it's so time consuming, because you're like, does this suck? Does it not suck? Have I listened to this too many times? Like, is it cool? No, it's not. It's like, whatever. Should we change this? Like,
why would I do it again if it hasn't worked like to the way I wanted to in the past? You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like with me too, with like ADD and like, you know, with I love being in a cover band, because, you know, anytime it's like we get sick of songs, I don't have to like write another one. We can just literally go grab another like timeless banger and just like knock it out, you know?
That's true.
And it keeps it exciting, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
You know? And it's still songs that people have heard and can sing along to. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you come out with new music, it's like people have to like get to know it. They have to like, like hang on, like, you know, fuck with it for a while. And that's why I love being in a cover band. You know,
what's your favorite cover that you've done lately?
Wow, we got some new ones we're working on. I'm really excited about, but I would say like I really like we do Journey Separate Ways, Muse Hysteria. We have been opening up on our last tour with Wolf Mother, Joker and the Thief, and that song fucking kicks. And we have brass. So like when the bridge comes, it's like da na 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 da na 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 da, and it like the trumpet like goes up an octave higher and just like ba, ba, da, 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 da. Yeah, it's fucking dude. It hits. It hits hard.
I think you need a 5 West cover. Or maybe we need to start our own boy band. We could be 4 East.
Oh, God.
No?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Wait. 4 East?
I don't know, dude.
But, dude, that's honestly, though, 4 boy bands? So you're seasoned. You're a pro.
I mean,
at this point, you're a pro. When you've
do you guys do choreography?
We did like a little bit. But again, that's
what are your
like
thoughts on choreography?
Cringe. I mean,
I love it when it's done.
Unless you're K-pop, you know. If you're K-pop, then yes, you know. Or if you find a way to like bring it back, like it's cool. But I'm sorry, I don't dance. I mean, maybe if I danced like you, it would be different. But
I mean, I'm not like trained, so I mean, when I was on a dance team, it took me like these guys were all trained, so it took me like 3 times as long to learn a dance because I just didn't have the foundation. It's tough though. It's also really tough to sing well and dance.
So impressive.
Because your breath, you like run out of breath.
Yeah.
It's really challenging.
Yeah. So that's why I think with like my new music, I have a song coming out on I call it St. Petey's Day, but it's St. Patrick's Day because I'm like, you know, half Irish, half leprechaun. It's gonna be my joke. You heard it here first. So it's called Party with the Weirdo, and I think with that one I'm gonna like never do any dancing ever again or any choreo in like the music video. It's gonna be just like as natural and authentic as I can possibly think, because I don't think I could ever go back to like doing the 2-step, you know, and the point and the wink. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a montage of like 98 degrees.
You could be like Drake in like Hotline Bling, you know.
That's true.
You could dance like that.
I mean, he has rhythm though, you know, like you have to at least have a little bit of rhythm.
I like to think I have some rhythm, but
do you not?
Yeah, it's in there. Maybe 3-4 drinks, and maybe once in a blue moon. But yeah, if someone puts me on the spot and says dance, I'm freezing up. Yeah.
I think that's kind of hard for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Sandoval dance. Give us a little something.
No, dude, no. No.
All right, maybe not. But going back to what we were chatting about earlier, like you're crushing it, obviously, as a content creator, a musician, and like you said, there's forethought. You're regimented. You're disciplined. Yeah. Doesn't seem contrived, and I love your paranormal, occult, Hotel Cecil shit. Like, can we maybe get into that a little bit?
Hell yeah.
For people who don't know about that, Pete lives across from a notoriously haunted, infamously haunted.
Is it still open?
It just reopened.
Okay,
Hotel
let's go.
Cecil's open?
Yeah, it's like a low income. It's transitioning into a homeless shelter now, which is.
Oh, that's great.
I thought so too. Until every day now, there's another ambulance or police car or fire truck, and people are jumping, and I hear someone stabbing, but we don't have to go there.
So I've only walked by there, and I don't know if it's because of my knowledge beforehand that I maybe projected what I knew onto there, but I felt some sort of, I don't know, negative.
Feel it.
I don't know. Maybe it was a figment of my imagination based on everything I've seen. Because I watched the documentary on that poor girl.
Yeah.
Tom, you saw the one where I think she was maybe diagnosed or undiagnosed with bipolar. In case you never saw this, and she maybe was off her meds respectfully, and she climbed into the water tank, and she died, and her body decomposed, and eventually. You should be telling this probably.
Well,
am I right?
Great.
Am I right? I love that you've had some paranormal what do you call them? Paranormal
Experiences?
Yes. No, paranormal mediums. I love that you've had some mediums come over to your apartment.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was gonna see if you could maybe tell us like some of the highlights, some of the most some of the scariest moments, or some of the most difficult to explain.
Yeah.
Or unexplainable.
So everyone always has asked me like why do you think it's haunted, or what? And I can only speculate, with the Lisa Lam situation or with some of the serial killers staying there, because it was weird that 2 serial killers were staying there like within a decade. I mean, it's just very strange because there's like the DoubleTree down the street and like different other hotels around. It's like, why is it always just the Cecil? And all I can respond with is I don't know. I can just speculate, but I have seen things from my window when the hotel was closed, and that's when I have thought that it was haunted, because no one was there for 3 years, and I would see windows shutting by themselves, lights turning on by themselves, apparitions and shadows, like the curtains moving, and I mean I would be glued to the window, like I have binoculars, telescope, drones, the whole thing. And I'd be doing live streams too on YouTube, which was the start of my YouTube channel. And I would call them my like ghosty sleepovers, and everyone would come and join. And basically I would just tell a story, go to bed, wake up, and be like, okay, bye. But it like people would like record and see things, and it would validate to me that I wasn't completely psycho. Because people would be seeing the same things as me. And that's kind of my main reason why, like those instances, I'm like, there's no way I would have seen somebody at some point, or I would have heard something. I talked to the guards, the guards like, no, like, I don't know what you saw. There was a time where the guards were never even there, and like it was just totally vacant. So I don't know.
Yeah. By the way,
people have broken in there though before.
Oh
right?
yeah,
And,
Urban
like,
Explorers.
They have,
and
but after the documentary came out though, because that's when
Yeah.
it started getting mainstream again.
Oh, so this is before the documentary came out.
Yeah,
that's when
most of it.
the
Yeah,
morbid fascination really started to.
yeah. That's why they had to
accelerate.
hire the guard, because
Yeah.
they're like, people were breaking in. It's getting nuts.
Who you became boys with, right? Kind of.
It depends
Well-
on the guard.
Oh yeah, okay. We should have done the podcast from Hotel Cecil. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. But like, also like, yeah, going back to what I
That
was
stuff
saying,
doesn't. I don't know why, but that stuff doesn't really freak me out.
it fascinates
Really?
the hell out of me.
No, I don't know why. I've maybe had some experiences earlier in my life, but I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, I have always looked at it in a way of like, the more questions you ask about ghosts, the more the reality I feel like of them breaks down. But that doesn't mean, things beyond your understanding like don't exist. I just it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. So like I've been in places that are haunted and I don't really feel anything. But I know that like there's also like, I've watched shows like there was this great like Through the Wormhole episode with Morgan Freeman years ago, but it was like even just like it was called Did We Create God or Did God Create Us? But it also talked about a lot of other aspects of like thoughts and like telling people that this is like, telling people that this is like Albert Einstein's pen and this is like Jeffrey Dahmer's like sweatshirt. You know what I mean? And like the different, like the way people react, just like, the energy they're feeling when like that was not the case.
They reveal afterwards it was just a regular pen.
Exactly.
And then they feel like idiots. I understand, yeah.
But the feeling that like people get when like they're told, like they're looking at a TV screen and they're like, is there a pattern going on here? Or they tell somebody, find the pattern going on here when there really isn't. And then you see these people like finding patterns that like don't even exist.
Which I think that way too about a lot of things, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like, is it the suggestion that this place is haunted that is making me feel things? Because there'll be sometimes I'm sitting in the chair, I feel tingles on me and whatever, but it's just like me feeling tingles. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a healthy skeptic, but I keep an open mind. But then I put myself in your position, like when you did have the psychic mediums in your place, and like she was talking to a spirit of a young boy in your apartment. Do you ever have any reservations about that? Or like after she leaves and it's like 2 a.m., not to scare you, but like do you ever think about that? Oh my God, I invited some sort of energy, spirit into my apartment, my place of safe being. You know, do you ever?
Well, that's the first thing. I don't consider my apartment a place of anything safe because it's bordering Skid Row. Let's be honest. But and across from the Cecil. But like I've only had a couple like experiences by myself.
Yeah.
And one of them, like paranormal, I would describe them. And one happened after one of the mediums left.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 a.m. and I was in bed.
3 a.m.
I know, it's always witching hour. But I had gone to the bathroom and I'd come back and like maybe I was just a little delirious from waking up or something. So I haven't really told the story that much. But I swear to God, I went to lay down and I heard somebody going in my, like right in my ear, like a Peet. And I was like, if I turn around, I'm going to see something and then I'm going to like jump out my window. So I didn't turn around and I was just like, dear God, please just like never let that happen ever again.
People, the Hotel Cecil. So the people who have stayed, that is terrifying.
And it's like, I wish I had a roommate, at that point, because then it's like, I could have been like, help, I'm scared. But
I've heard so many anecdotes similar to people who have stayed at the Cecil about having people whisper in your ear,
maybe
knocking
I
on
should
the
go
walls.
stay somewhere that's like haunted, like known, and see how I feel afterwards. Because I went to when we were touring, we went to this place that was like one of Al Capone's old like brothels and had like tunnels in it and stuff. Whoa. And they said it's haunted. And it didn't really freak me out. They'd be like, you would be okay hanging out in here? I'm like, yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Did you know the place we were at, Treasure Island, for Kyle Chan's launch party was haunted?
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's old,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for ghosts.
When did you start getting into like supernatural stuff and like ghosts and whatnot?
I've always been interested since as young as I can remember, but I started making it part of my content when I found out about Cecil, Hotel Cecil, and I was like, well, this is too easy, like to make content about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like not want to like have a medium in my house, because then I'm like, after that, I'd feel like I'm being watched.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was.
Like I'm like,
saying.
and I do certain things, and I'm sure everybody does that. Like they don't want to be watched doing so.
Right. Fair, valid.
You're like, okay, I see what you're saying. Maybe it's like a slippery slope scenario. You're like, oh my God, is my dead grandma watching me masturbate?
Yeah, exactly.
Today?
Exactly.
Grandma, shut your eyes. Don't look. Turn away.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's talk about growing up as a tall person in a family with dwarfism. Is that your mom famously said that if you were born first, that you would have been the last. So was that totally unexpected for her and your dad to have a child of like that wasn't didn't have dwarfism? Is that very unexpected? Is it very uncommon?
So my mom has a type of dwarfism called pseudoachondroplasia. My dad has a type of dwarfism called achondroplasia, and it varies based on the type of dwarfism you have. But with those two, I had a 25% chance of being a little person. And because what's interesting is at that time, there was really nothing much in the history books about it. So my mom, being the theatrical, TV personality my mom is, she had to of course get a camera crew to follow us for the first couple years of my life, because I came out being tall, but with pseudoachondroplasia, you don't show symptoms until you're 2. So they didn't know, and it was kind of a case study at the same time. My mom swears that she knew when I was in her womb, because I'd just be kicking and be she'd be there's no way this guy is gonna come out a dwarf. So she's happy I didn't, in one way, because it's allowed me to be able to not take on a lot of the discrimination and the bullying and things like that, and just reaching things and just normal things. But at the same time, I always kind of wish that I was a dwarf. And just now it's starting to change. But I always grew up thinking that was normal. It wasn't until I was in kindergarten. I was wait, what the fuck is this? Parents are tall, I knew there were other people, but I didn't actually make the association until I started developing more. And so it was kind of trippy. And I think it's kind of stuck with me ever since a little bit.
It was always a loving environment, but when you were young, you kind of felt alienated, not by your family, but just because of your height differential.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we go to the grocery store, or a doctor's appointment or something, and I'd have to reintroduce myself every time. They just wouldn't think that was part of the family, and it's it's such a weird thing, because that was so normal to me, but no one, I feel would be able to relate to that, because it's such a weird niche situation. But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
And my older brother's athlete, sports fanatic, just like my dad. And they're just what do you want? What do you mean you want to do the arts? You're the tall one, you're over 6 foot. Finally, my dad's it's my chance to finally live through you, And I'm sorry, I love music. And
Well, you've done so much with your career. Where do you see your career going from? Is the room to become an athlete? Maybe reality TV? Maybe puppetry? I don't know.
Puppetry?
What's next?
Oh, that'd be
Is that
badass.
athleticism? Well, I think it is.
That's a form of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play any sports in high school or anything?
Oh yeah, they got me to do everything until
What was your
11th grade.
favorite?
None.
I love the honesty of that answer. Your dad was living vicariously through you, right?
He was trying so hard, and
Yeah.
I was sorry.
Yeah.
I was picking the grass in the right field, during Little League, and he was
Oh, wow,
he was
yeah,
one of the coaches, and he's like, Peter, get up and catch the ball, and I was the ball.
I picture you catching your first ball in the outfield, looking to your dad, are we good here? Because I'm kind of not feeling this.
I was I can't wait for the snacks, at the end
Oh,
where they give
dude.
you the Lunchables.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh my God. Forget about it.
Did you guys do Little League?
Yeah, I played baseball,
yeah.
football.
You did?
Yeah. Skateboard and snowboard.
I had bad eyesight, and I was kind of afraid of the ball, and baseball just didn't hit with me. But that was all you could play was baseball and soccer, and then finally when I got to high school, I started wrestling, and then I did pole vaulting, and I did well in those. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I would have loved to pole vault.
Pole vault was really fun. I think I did 11 or 11 and a half feet my freshman year, which was tied my school record. It was something that I just
insane.
picked up really fast. It was fun though, man. You just shoot up there and go over the bar, and throw the pole back, and you just fall back onto the mat.
Whoa.
It's kind of scary too. It's
Dopamine hit.
You just gotta basically charge the box with a pole, just you can't second guess yourself, and
Wow.
a pole will snap, and you basically end up doing a backflip into the pit, or you stall out and you end up just you go in, you stall out, and you end up just sitting on the top of the pole, not making it into the pit, and you fall backwards. Pretty scary.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't love sports, I mean, when you're young, it's great for getting out of your comfort zone. And if you skew a little introverted, like maybe I did when I was really young, but like sports kind of brought me out of my shell. Yeah, I don't know if you had the same experience or not, but
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it really helped a lot for me when I was younger.
What are your thoughts? We were talking about this before you came here. I didn't have any idea, but Jason brought it up. He was like, I guess they're doing like a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but they're just calling it Snow White.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this movie? I heard they're using people. I don't know if are they using people with dwarfism, or are they like not, or are they just like doing what they did with like Willy Wonka, the reboot, where they like, are they doing the Frodo Baggins thing, or the like? Do you know what I mean? Where they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they so they were gonna cast. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were gonna cast Seven Dwarfs. Then Peter Dinklage was like,
Yes.
why would you do that? Just stereotyping dwarves for a certain role. And then the other side of the dwarfism community, like Little People of America, came out and wait, I don't know if that's right either, but I know some other people like dwarfs were like, you're taking away roles now,
Yes.
so why would you say that, Peter Dinklage?
Yeah.
So there was like this weird feud. And then I guess what they announced was there were like 6 average height people, but just they were all a little zany or quirky with like a specific thing that they had. And then there was one little person. But I think that it got so much hate online that I don't know if they're redoing it again, because I think they were like fired Snow White or something.
Yeah,
So,
so it was kind of like a paradox, like perpetuating the stereotypes versus having jobs for people who want to work.
right.
Yeah, because like Peter Dinklage is, he's a little person that's really kind of like broken the mold in the sense of like they cast him in parts where anybody could play it in a sense.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really cool. But there's not a lot of people out there.
Right.
There's not a lot of LPs out there that can
Nice.
that break that,
Yeah.
that barrier.
Right.
Is your mom still out auditioning? Are we going to see her in any upcoming films, television?
No, she would love to, and we're actually trying right now to pitch more of the Peter Dinklage style, where like there's nothing out there with people who are disabled or have dwarfism or something, and they're not just on reality show, because we've gotten approached a lot, but I keep on just saying like I can't do that, because every reality show that features little people, it's all about like, oh, and then now they're like follow them on a date with an average sight person, and like it's so gimmicky and cringy to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if we position little people in a way where they can just play any role? There's like a sitcom, and it's just like anybody else, So that's the next steps that we're trying to do, and then hopefully she'll play like a lead on that or something. But
I love that, because right now you're the writer, the director, the creator, everything, and you're in control.
Right.
You kind of have your own reality show. If it's like a network, like maybe Bravo came to you and wanted to do a show based on your family, your life, would you be open to something like that? Where you're not in control of the narrative and how you're depicted?
I mean, it would depend on the contract.
Yeah.
But probably, I don't know. I just think I just don't want to be a part of reality and dwarves, in combination. I just feel like it's danger zone.
You've seen the dark side through us. We'll show you the DMs later.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So tell us about the book, Little Imperfections.
Read it this morning. Got the Kindle edition.
That's so cool. Thank you.
I got receipts, okay? I got receipts. But the hard copy is beautiful, by the way. I just want to
Yeah,
say.
it looks great.
Got my Kindle.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a coming of age story about feeling like you don't belong, and it's through the eyes of me. So like, obviously I grew up in a family of all little people, and I was confused a lot. So it was a lot of me figuring out like who I am and what it means. And I realized a lot of other people feel that way based on race, based on just whoever they are, and learning that it's not a weakness, your past is actually a strength. And as soon as you can understand that it's something to propel yourself if you want, then you can. And it should be something that like you hold close to your heart. So that's basically what it's about. And it's hopefully anyone can relate at any age, but obviously it rhymes and it's like Dr. Seussy. So geared more towards children who are trying to discover themselves.
Dude,
Nice.
it's heartfelt. It's got a great
Love
message.
that.
And yeah, man, I breezed through it, and I was smiling at the end.
Yay!
But well done. You
Thank
said
you.
it. You said it was a labor of love, and
It
you
was.
almost lost your mind a few times. But
Definitely did.
I think it was worth the effort. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
And if you don't believe me, check out the reviews on Amazon. 5 stars.
Yeah. For now.
Nice. So Pete, what's next for you, man? What's like maybe like a dream project of yours?
Aside from puppetry,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that'd be dope.
I'm planting seeds over here right
Yes,
now.
we should do
You
a
should talk.
trio.
You should
puppet.
talk to like Matt and Trey Parker from.
Dude.
A trio puppet boy band.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Epiphany.
I heard.
down.
I heard after.
Is that where you were
the
going?
producers?
Or you were going?
I'm going
a different-
there now.
Oh, where were you going? I thought we were having a moment.
Oh, yeah.
What were you
100%.
thinking?
Yeah,
Oh,
that.
Okay.
Is it Matt and Trey Parker that do South Park? Yeah, I heard that like they've been approached or asked to do a sequel to Team America, but they just like they like lost their minds doing puppets. Like they hated it so much after doing that movie that they'll like never do it again, unfortunately. But yeah, we could do it though.
Dude, you've been doing you've been a YouTuber for how many years now?
YouTube, like 2 years now.
Oh, 2 years. Okay, I thought you've been at it
TikTok,
longer.
like 3.5 or
That's
something.
very impressive.
Wow.
You have over 17 million subscribers on YouTube in 2 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Holy shit!
It's-
Case study here, people.
I know. It's weird. I don't understand. Honestly, but
Advice for the Toms as they build this show out.
what's that?
Do you have any
Oh.
advice for the Toms as they build this show out?
Let's put snippets out there, of
Yeah.
on Instagram. I mean, I'm sure you guys know that each of the platforms are a little different algorithm wise, and so
Learning.
find the moments in the podcasts that are just outrageous or whatever. But I'm sure you already know that.
Yeah.
We're learning. I feel like we're late adopters. That's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
glean as much as I can from you.
We could do the podcast naked.
Well,
That
okay,
would
I did not
generate
see that
views.
coming, dude.
Oh yeah.
How's
That's
it different
fine.
than reality, though? That's my question.
This?
Yeah, something like this.
I'll be honest, Pete. I started doing this just because I felt myself like turning into a hermit. I just was like finding myself wanting to stay in far too frequently, not speak publicly. I don't know. Maybe sometime after the pandemic this happened. So it's been a good exercise for me.
I like to say that reality, that our show specifically is like always having the one conversation with the one person you don't want to have it with. Oh, so what's next for you? What are some of your, what's a dream project of yours?
I would say probably doing that show I was talking about. Like, I kind of woke up the other day with an epiphany, and I was like, I want to figure out a way, and I mean, everyone says this, but a way to make things more inclusive just because of my upbringing, but also,
Yeah.
like, I've always felt awkward, and I'm like, if there's a way to kind of make awkward, like, mainstream, like, not just in content or something, but in traditional media and with like businesses and just kind of the overarching aspect, like with the song that I'm coming out with, Party with the Weirdo. It's like about the weirdos. So I think that's like just my next big thing I want to tackle, is just finding the best ways to make being weird cooler and just normal.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means yet.
No,
though.
dude, you're a visionary.
Exactly.
You're manifesting, and I have no doubt in my mind you're gonna bring it all to fruition.
We're all a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely a little weird. You're
really
sure as hell a little weird.
Dude, easy, man.
That's a good thing.
I've got problems. No, but
We like to ask each other, is this weird?
And it's like, yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
it is.
Pete, thank you so much
Pete,
for coming
we know
by,
you're busy
man.
as shit. Thank you so much.
Tell
Taking time out of
everybody
your schedule.
where they can catch you at on YouTube.
Yeah. It's Peet Montzingo. Pete like the coffee, and then good luck with Montzingo.
Do you want us to debut a little snippet of your new music, or is it not ready?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's
really?
do it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm
Really?
scared.
Is this the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Oh, it's too late for me, but I don't give a damn. I must have lost my head, but that's just who I am. instead of fading in. They think I'm psycho. See how the night goes. It's better to party with the weirdo. I don't need a cape to be a hero. I'm saving the night on the dance floor. It's better to party with the weirdo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Facts. By the
It's
way.
not mixed yet or
Facts.
mastered, but you know how it
Dude, it
works.
sounds great. I like the dramatic,
Yes.
the build.
Calling
It's
back
nice.
to the early 2010s, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I dig it. It's catchy. I'm ready for the Benny Benassi remix.
Yes. You guys should be in the music video, by the way. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Honored to.
I'm totally.
Pete,
Sweet.
this has been awesome, educational,
Yeah, man.
and most importantly, fun.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for coming out.
And
Thank you for
to
having
the
me.
to the Monzingo
Monzingo Mule, baby.
The Monzingo
Cheers.
Mule. It's
Cheers.
delicious. Great
Cheers.
job, Schwartz.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Pete, you're the man.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Thank
man.
you.
Cheers to you, and
Yeah.
thank you everyone for another episode joining us of Everybody Loves Tom. Cheers.